everybody, and welcome to the 43rd podcast. And this is my second introduction for tonight. My tech guy just told me how to redo the show starter. And I'm Kimberley Bouchard, the author of the Positivley Disney book series and host for tonight. Welcome to Todd and Regina and to Jacques on my show. Before I go on, I want to just say welcome to my Twitch TV people and all the Facebook folks out there that have taken the time to take a listen. And I want to wish a very special somebody a happy birthday. My sister Bonnie back in Alberta, Canada. It is her birthday today. Well, guys, it's the giving and the receiving season today. Not just today. I'm thinking this month, actually. And funnily enough, just before we went live, my mattress arrived at the front door like 4 minutes before we were going to go live. So at least that's out of the way, and we will not be interrupted by any more deliveries. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about when you're getting deliveries in the middle of your day. But at any rate, I'm very excited because I've got a special announcement I'm going to be making sometime this week. It could be tomorrow, it could be Wednesday, we'll see. And yes, it is about book 4. But anyways, if you have an act of kindness that you have observed or even created, please call into the show 844-483-4763, and I'd love to hear about it. I actually have a few to share with you as well, and I did actually just see another one that came about with a Disney bus driver. But before we go on, I'm dying to know what's in my bag. I know a little bit, but haven't really had a chance to investigate too much. My husband was actually in Tokyo last week, and he tends to get me things from anything that is Disney-ish wherever he is in the world. So I thought that it would be really fun to take a peek at what is actually in the bag. And so I can hear it kind of jiggling around a little bit. Well, maybe I'll take the obvious out of there first. And there's still some other little things in there. So I've got, it says 90 years of Mickey. And I was actually in Target the other day, and they have some things, 90 years of Mickey, of course, in all their toy area and that. And I'm going to open the box. And I did hear about these. And here we go. So I'm really excited. I just got these. They're a Mickey, that Steamboat Willie on there. Very cute little tennis shoes. So I can't wait. And they're actually it'll be about rainproof. So I'm very fortunate. I know Regina and Todd that live in Arizona, this would be like a daily occurrence for sneakers. You wouldn't have to worry about the rain so much there. But I just love these. I love the Steamboat Willie on there because, you know, it is all about Mickey. And that is so cool that I've got Steamboat Willie on there. So thanks, hon, for that. And I've got a couple other little things in here that I'm going to just pull out. And, well, it's a little box of some Disney characters. And it says, have a break, have a Kit Kat. So I think this is maybe some chocolate. I'm going to just open that up. It's kind of hard to open up. Oh, yes, it says Kit Kat on the outside. And, oh, they're cute. Little Kit Kats. And it's written in Japanese behind for the ingredients and such. But isn't that cute? It's a little a 4-pack of Kit Kats. And I guess they have the Fab 5 on here, but there's 4 Kit Kats in there. So I can't wait to have a little treat tonight. Let me see what else is in here. There's another thing in here that I want to check out real quick here. And, oh, isn't this sweet? It's Steamboat Willie cookies, little chocolate cookies. And I'm not sure if I should try one live like this. I'm not sure. I never know what's going to be in them. But here we've got a little bag with some little Mickey Mouse pattern on the outside. And I'm going to see if I can open it and maybe give one a little taste. So, oh, isn't this cute? So it actually has little pictures. I don't know if you can see that. That's a little picture here on the cookies, and various pictures on there. Actually, here's Belle on there. Oh my goodness, they're very, very sweet. So I'm going to put those away for now because I don't really want to eat while I'm live, although I am tempted because I'm a bit hungry right now. At any rate, anybody have a little story to share with us tonight of an act of kindness? Now, I just actually recently heard about this one from a Walt Disney World bus driver, which is really neat. He experienced this actually yesterday on his bus route, and so it was quite a getting to be a busy route. He had just put two scooters on the bus, and there was a couple of gentlemen that came on, and one actually had two artificial legs, not one, two. And he came on and sat down. There were still seats around to sit down on, and as the bus started filling up, there's a woman with her child in her arms, and the man with the artificial legs stood up and let her take his seat. She didn't realize that he had artificial legs until once she was sitting down, and she said, "Oh my gosh," she said, you don't need to stand for my sake." She was going to get up and take her stand, and he was going to she wanted him to take the seat again, and he said, "No, no, no, no." He said, "I was raised to let women and children sit down in the bus," which was really lovely. But what was even better is there was another gentleman in the bus that actually stood up, and he said, "No." He said, "You take my seat," because he said, after all that you have done, he had sacrificed. He had been in the army, lost both of his legs in an explosion a while back. And this gentleman had stood up and said, "You sit down in my seat." And it's always nice to see those extra things, especially in the parks. And, but I don't know about you, but bus rides sometimes can be a little interesting, and people are tired or anxious to get to the park. So, it's just really special when you see that. Hi, Donna Jo. Welcome to the show tonight. Another act of kindness I just wanted to share with you that we actually had a chance to do. Well, we've given different tickets away, and actually, Donna Jo, who's watching now, had given us a golden ticket. Donna Jo, I don't remember that a couple of years ago. You gave us a golden ticket that was good for any park for three different attractions for 5 fast passes. And we were very grateful. We had a lot of our fast passes chosen. We did get to do a couple of others, and we thought, we're going to give our last fast pass away to somebody on the golden ticket. And it was so much fun to see people's expressions that it was like really kind of winning that golden ticket in the Willy Wonka bar, because these people didn't have to line up at the attractions. They were kind of eating and getting ready to line up for 2 hours for their attraction that they really loved. I can't even remember which one it was actually now that I think about it. I think it was Expedition Everest. I'm not sure now, but we just had a lovely conversation. It was so nice to be able to give somebody something like that. So to make a little difference. And another one I wanted to share with you is it involved ice cream and coffee, but not at the same time. And I don't know about you, but it's really fun to surprise somebody with a coffee or with a little gift of food or dinner or whatever. And so here we were in line, and I noticed this older gentleman just standing by the side, and I decided to buy him a coffee. And he said, "Oh, no, 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 no." He said, "No, don't worry about me." And I said, "Listen," I said, "it's a sad state of affairs if you can't buy your fellow human being a cup of coffee." Anyways, that was just something that I was able to do. And it feels so good to give something like that. And the last little thing I want to share before I do, I want to say hi to Michelle. Welcome to the show, Michelle. The ice cream parlor at the end of Main Street USA there in Walt Disney World. Well, they have those kitchen sinks, right? And they're full of stuff, like just everything, and it takes 2 or 3 of you to eat it. Well, I didn't feel like ice cream that day. I don't know why, but I didn't feel like ice cream. I wanted the kitchen sink though, and I had to pay for as if I was getting the ice cream in order to get the sink. And I thought, well, I'm not going to let that ice cream go to waste. So I kind of spotted this young couple in line. I think they were newlyweds, and I told the cast member at the cashier. I said, I want you to give these guys my ice cream, whatever one they wanted. And it was really fun because I left the store, left the ice cream parlor, and took a peek in the window, and we're watching their faces. And it's really fun if you get a chance to see somebody that's receiving a little gift like that. At any rate, if you have a story to share with us tonight, the number to call is 844-483-4763 is the number to call. This time of year is full of goodwill towards mankind, I find. And even little things that I've been experiencing, particularly in our traffic in Seattle, which can be left to be desired. A lot of people are just kind of starting to let people into their lanes and so on. And it's so nice to have that. It kind of start spreading around. I don't know. I think it's like just December 1st things start spreading around. People are paying more attention to others and giving of themselves in a lot of different things. And there is one family that I want to share that they have a really neat thing that they do before they go on their vacations to Walt Disney World. And one of the things they do, two things actually. So they save up their money and they buy different lanyards with pins on them. And I remember one time they had saved to get 25 lanyards with a variety of pins on. And that's really special. And when they got to the park, their kids would find a child that doesn't collect, didn't have a lanyard on or any pins. And the children each had an opportunity to give something of themselves. I'm going to take this call quickly and I'll finish that story after. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hey, Kimberley, how you doing? It's Donna Jo.
Oh, hi, Donna Jo. I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing out there in Florida?
So much better. Much better.
I'm glad.
It was a rough summer, but I'm doing good.
Good. That's so awesome. And I think, do you have a story to share with us for an act of kindness?
Well, you told about the passes that Billy and I gave you.
Yeah.
When my mom was living with us, there was always the five of us who would go to the parks.
Right.
And several times we were blessed to have cast members give us these fast passes for any park, any ride, any time of the day.
Wow.
And being pass holders and living here in Florida, we don't really need to use fast passes all the time.
Okay.
So the day after the Boston Marathon bombing, we were in Animal Kingdom, and we had gotten one of those fast passes for the five of us.
Okay.
And we said we have to find a group of five that we can give this to. And the first group of five we saw walking past, the woman had on a Boston hat. So I went over to her and I said, "Are you from Boston?" And she said, "Yes." And I says, "Are all of your family and friends safe?" And she said, "Yes." She had some friends at the thing that day, but they were safe. So I said, "Well," I says, "we're not going to use these, and I want you to use them." She started crying and gave me this hug, and I will never, never forget it.
Oh, gosh.
I know it was I just couldn't believe that somebody who had, she was telling us how she was worrying all night that she hadn't heard from people.
Yeah.
This was her first trip to Disney.
Oh.
It was just heartbreaking. It really was.
Wow.
One of my funny stories, though, when we did the first time we did the Keys to the Kingdom tour years ago.
Okay.
And if you haven't done it, you really should. It's a great tour.
Yeah.
When we checked in early, I said to the young lady, the cast member, I says, "We're going to go get a coffee and a snack at the bakery because we haven't had breakfast. And kidding around, she said, if they had something with my name on it, bring it back.
Oh.
Well, when I told the baker what she said, he didn't hesitate to get a nice big cookie and put her name on it.
Oh.
And if you could have seen her face when we went back with it, it was priceless.
Oh, that's so great. I didn't even know that you could get personalized cupcakes.
Well, they don't do them normally.
Oh, okay.
It was just a special little treat he did because of the circumstances.
Oh.
So she got a kick out of it.
Oh, that's lovely.
There's always magic. There's always magic at Disney.
There is. And it's really cool to be a part of that, isn't it? To be able to give some of that, right? Because I think you get back the same amount, if I'd say more actually, than what you're giving,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I was in line paying for something one day, and one of the cast members was showing a child how this little car worked, and she's running it across the counter, and she let it go, and it went flying right into me. Oh. And, I thought it was funny, but she was very apologetic.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, no, really, it's okay, I'm not hurt. Next thing I know, she's coming out with an award for me, and it's hanging on my wall. It's framed from Disney. Just for not getting hurt, I guess.
Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, my gosh.
There's just so many magical things. So many.
There really are.
I can't even begin to think of them all.
Yeah.
The people we've met over there.
Yeah.
We were over there this morning for the ESPN sports event with the Pee Wee football players and cheerleaders and stuff. And I was talking to this stranger who's, just a friend you haven't met yet.
Yeah.
And it happened to be the man from North Carolina who was responsible for the organization of the group that my munchkins were with.
Oh, my gosh.
He didn't know them personally because it's the Raleigh area. It's a large group.
Right.
But after the game, he made it a point of bringing my little munchkin Ryan out to the sideline so I could get a picture of him.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. That is something that is going to be with Ryan forever. And you as well, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's those little things, right? It doesn't have to be a big thing. It's the thoughtfulness, right? And thought-filled caring behind it.
Yes. I went into guest services a few weeks ago because a cast member we were at the Imagination. We were in Epcot. Okay. The cast member was so wonderful that I took his name and I went to guest services to make sure I put a little note in to let them know how wonderful he was.
Yeah.
Do you know I got an autographed picture from Cinderella in the mail?
Get out.
Yes.
Wow. Gosh.
It just bounces back at you.
Yeah. Yeah. That you know what? And you know what is really cool? Actually, I'm so glad you brought that up because we have all these phenomenal experiences in the parks. And, we don't always acknowledge the cast members by that way. Do you know what I'm saying? So if anybody out there wants to acknowledge a cast member and have Disney acknowledge a cast member, go to guest services. And what is it that you have to do at guest services, Donna Jo?
They'll bring out a card that you can fill it out and put the cast member's name and tell them what they did, and you give it back to them. I put down the time of the day and the ride we were on. I wanted to make sure it got to the correct person because I didn't have a last name.
Yeah, of course. That's perfect. But, so people can do that. You can do that at any park, I'm sure. The cast members benefit from it, right? The cast members, that's a real kudos to them. Their managers are notified. And you know what's really cool? For an organization like that with thousands of cast members, they actually get that, right? They receive those notes. And isn't that cool how that goes along? And
Disney really does the training when it comes to customer satisfaction.
Yeah, that's so great.
My daughter is an assistant GM at a resort on the beach.
Okay.
And there was a problem one day, so she had to have this guest come into her office,
Yeah.
and she resolved the issue.
Yeah.
And this man gave her one of the greatest compliments. He said, "Have you ever worked for Disney?" And she
Oh,
laughed and said no, because she has grown up at Disney.
right.
And he had worked for Disney.
Oh,
And he
wow.
says, "You have the Disney personality."
There you go. Yeah, she's got the spirit of Disney, doesn't she? Oh
Yep.
my gosh. It's so good that that you did that, Donna Jo, because you didn't have to, you didn't have to acknowledge the cast members. We're often so taken with our vacation and just enjoying ourselves, and we often don't have figure we don't have the time to do it. But it's also a reminder for me too, because when you do see somebody, I mean, everybody, not everybody, but there's people that want to complain, that I'm sure they hear lots of those things. But it's
And
really,
sometimes they have a right.
well,
Sometimes
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
reason to
yeah.
complain.
But it's just really nice to do it on the other side of things too, on the good
That's what
thing,
I
right?
always say.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
you're ever going to complain, you better make sure you're letting them know when things are right.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yes.
Think, Donna. Now I'm trying to remember because this is a while ago. Um, is it you that brought goodies
The
to?
donuts.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We've done that a few times. Brought donuts with us when we've checked in. So when the
Oh,
staff takes a break, they can have a little snack in their break room.
that is so fun. I mean, there's a lot of us that fly, so it would be a little tricky sometimes to get that. But I just love that. And I'm sure they must have been shocked when you gave them donuts.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
They were.
And that's a nice treat because I mean everybody works so hard there, and if you can manage to get a little snack or a little treat to the cast members, that just probably that made their day, I'm sure, and they get to enjoy a
Yeah.
donut.
The one time a few years ago when we were at the fort, Billy had made these little Christmas decorations of Mickey Mouse on wood, and on the back it
Oh,
had Fort Wilderness, December, whatever the year was.
right.
And Miss Josephine saw them, and she wanted one, so of course we gave her one. And then she came out of the kitchen and said, "Oh, so and so wants one." And I think we probably gave at least a dozen away at the restaurant that morning.
Oh, oh, isn't that
So guests
great?
didn't get them, but the staff did.
Yeah, well, you may as well, right? At least somebody's got them that really, really appreciates that, right?
Yes, yes. And
Donna
now that
Jo.
Miss Josephine's retired,
Oh,
I hope
okay.
she thinks of us when she hangs it on her tree.
Yeah, you know what? People, it's amazing what people will keep for, um, future consideration, especially something that has meaning like that. That's so
Yes,
lovely. Gosh, are you were there? You said this was it this morning? You said that you were
yes,
there.
we were over
Oh
there this
gosh,
morning to
wow.
watch the football players, and they won 28-0. Apex
Oh,
Cougars.
oh, there you go. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Is it busy around there yet in the parks, or is it kind of still a little bit
It wasn't real
light?
busy at Epcot. We were there
Okay,
for a couple of hours
okay,
before coming home.
all right.
The weather was kind of nasty. It kept raining and then stopping and raining and stopping.
Oh, just like
That may
here.
have had an effect on the crowds.
Oh, okay, for sure. Listen, Donna
Yeah.
Jo, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it and sharing all these acts of kindness that you have just shared with us. It really warms my heart, because that is really what it's about. It really is, always, but especially around the holiday season, right? All right. Thanks, Donna Jo. Well, I am going to finish off that story I was telling you about, and this family who their children give these lanyards. But what is something really neat, so the children get to participate in the giving as well, and the mom makes these really really neat pins, and she will give them to different cast members that they see. And I noticed that there's a lot of people that bring little thank yous to pass along to the cast members, be it the custodial staff in doing your room up, or kitchen staff, or whoever. And I think that those ones really really deserve something as well, because hey, they keep you fed, they keep your room clean, they keep your area that you're eating clean, not to mention all the others that are responsible for the magic. So I'm going on to the top of the hour, and I mentioned that I will be sharing a first look at a story from the fourth book in the Positively Disney series. And it's very, very appropriate for this season. And I'm going to end the show with this story. And I'm going to have to put on my Mickey glasses because that's unfortunately what I have to do these days in order to read properly. But I wanted just to leave this with you, and it's kind of my gift to you, one of the stories in my books. And the title is The Giver. Jonathan has certainly lived a life of many Disney experiences over the years, with visits to Walt Disney World as a child, in college, and as an adult. He co-hosted a Disney podcast for years and became affectionately known as Jonathan, the Voice Dictor. Run Disney events became a way of overcoming an unhealthy lifestyle that saw Jonathan weigh 410 pounds at one time. He grew up in a loving family that included an older sister. His dad taught his son that when you are fortunate in life, which he is blessed enough to be, he shared, then the only way to enjoy it is to share it with people that are important to you. These wise words imparted to Jonathan remain with him to this day. Walt Disney World is near and dear to my heart, he says. To get to share my love of that with the people I love who haven't had the chance to really experience it gets me in life. His love for providing a magical experience does not just remain with his friends. His Run Disney events help him to raise money for those in need. He walked his first Run Disney half marathon in 2009. He had lost over 100 pounds by that time and wanted to use his desire to give to motivate him to run more and do more for others. He garnered sponsorship for his Run Disney event and started a blog. Upon completion of his half marathon, Jonathan gifted the Make-A-Wish Foundation with $6,000, the precise amount of one child's wish. On another occasion, Jonathan wanted to help a couple of friends who were down on their luck at that time. He was a Disney Vacation Club member and had socked away enough miles to fly the three of them to Walt Disney World. He wanted it to be their first experience ever that would make any future vacations of theirs pale in comparison, he had chuckled. He provided them with a pair of ears, an autograph book, a begin pin trading set, and a Disney guide and Epcot passport. He had recorded greetings to the women from various cast members on a previous trip to share the excitement for their upcoming trip. Jonathan shares the Disney magic with his daughter, too. She is the age that he was when he experienced one of his most memorable moments in life. And actually, they were just at Walt Disney World the last week. So that's something I just thought I'd add in there. He, at that time, was at the age when he began to wonder about the whole Christmas thing. His dad assured him, though, that when you became a parent, and just before you go and get your baby, they give you a book with all the secrets in it. For whatever reason, Jonathan still had a bad feeling about that Christmas. In fact, he was terrified that Santa would forget about their house that year. Although Christmas had dawned early for Jonathan that morning, it hadn't for his parents. It was 4:30 a.m. His dad got out of bed, started the fire, and made coffee before the family was allowed downstairs. From his vantage point, Jonathan could not make out if Santa had made it to their house the night before. His dad finally called the family down. Jonathan took one look beneath the tree, and his heart broke. It was completely bare. "I told you it was too early," his dad said to him. The family sat for a moment by the twinkling tree, albeit an empty one. His father thought he heard a toilet flush, and the family went to the bathroom to check on things. The lights were on in the bathroom, the door was closed. That was strange, Jonathan thought. His dad carefully opened the door and looked inside. The room was filled with presents everywhere. The sink, the tub, the floor. But what grabbed their attention immediately was the exhaust fan above the toilet. It was dangling open, and a black leather boot hung down from it. They had caught Santa by surprise in the bathroom, and he had to make a quick getaway. Jonathan was overjoyed and very relieved to find that they had not been forgotten. In their excitement, they brought their gifts out one at a time for the bathroom to open them in the living room. It did not occur to us to bring them all out to the living room to open, Jonathan laughed. As he and his sister started opening them, they noticed it odd that there were no toys. They unwrapped t-shirts, sandals, shorts, sunscreen, and sunglasses. There was a theme going on that he just couldn't figure out. His older sister had, though. There was one gift left. They hadn't touched their stockings yet. Inside Jonathan's stocking, he found a plane ticket to Orlando. He read the date on it and discovered that they would be leaving in 4 hours. Their family was off to Walt Disney World for the holidays. If he hadn't woken everybody up when he had, they wouldn't have made their flight, Jonathan shared. But his parents had counted on him and knew, because he had been so worried the night before, that he would be up bright and early. They stayed at the Polynesian resort. There was a show with Goofy water skiing in the Seven Seas Lagoon, coming ashore, jumping into the swimming pool, and sliding down the water slide with the kids. He remembers taking a pirate ship with real pirates out to Discovery Island when it was still open for marshmallows and s'mores with the kids' club. His favorite ride had been Journey into Imagination at Epcot, and Jonathan remembers the cast members letting him ride it for 12 times in a row. These are the memories that Jonathan holds near and dear to his heart. It is because of the gift that his father imparted to him to give to others that Jonathan has learned the greatest lesson of all, that it is better to give, because it is in the giving that you receive the joy and happiness from the one that is receiving back again. Thanks for listening tonight, everyone. And I just really wanted to share that story. It seemed very appropriate for a kickoff of the Christmas season. The Giver, that and 29 other stories are coming out in book 4. And it really is nice that Donna Jo could share with us. And I know you guys all have stories out there of giving and receiving. And I just wanted to pass that on to you as my first gift of Christmas to you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead. And we will be seeing you next week. And next week's podcast, there's going to be a special announcement about a very, very special guest that will be on my Christmas show on the 17th. So for now, I want to wish you a very safe and a very lovely week ahead. And I will be live sometime this week to make my announcement. But for now, take care. And before I leave, welcome, Bike. Thanks for joining me. The show will be up for you guys all to listen to if you have not been able to join us live tonight. All right, take care. Blessings to you guys. Bye for now.